Not going to see Gem in the sprint.
Yeah, I like his draw out there. Hard race, but all the races are going to be because they're finals. I mean, he's won around there numerous times. He's been in Group 1 finals around there. He can win on Saturday. Rabs, we got to beat. I think there's, stage of the game, you've all got them to beat, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm sure you and Rab will discuss it like over. Yeah, with a great deal of courtesy.
No, it's not Rab, is it? It's Liz. Rab's just a van driver, yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, we got that one in nice and early. Goofy in the Jack Morrill Memorial.
Yeah, that's the Derby consolation as well, though, isn't it? Really?
Yes.
So yes, he wasn't good enough last week. Didn't come away brilliantly. Run well. If he can repeat what he did in the earlier rounds, he's obviously got a shout.
Yeah. Was it just literally just missed it last week? He wasn't tired or?
He wasn't tired. No, he wasn't tired. There's a week in between races.
Yeah.
And Dog was up, trapped out with him, got inside him, and look, we turned third. Savannah Boo was fourth coming off the second, though we were a long way in front. The writing was on the wall. Although I think he stays 500, he stays it in front, stays it second, but you've got a class animal turning fourth, so we didn't qualify, and that was that.
Yeah. Again, it's a fabulous quality race, isn't it? Sign at 18, obviously his half brother in one, and Cape Cloud, Bocco's Budset. Very good.
Look, it's going to be as quality. It's the consolation of honour of the Derby.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there'll be a lot of dogs in the race that could have won the Derby, should have, in any other races. So it's going to be top class.
Yes, of course. And then you've got two in the plate.
Yeah, well, I'm going with Chelm's Fred. I mean, if Chelm's switch was to lead, which I don't think it's nigh impossible, he's a different dog in front. Got awesome pace, but I'm going with Chelm's Fred. Chelm's Fred was my number one Derby dog in the first place, but fortunately he broke a toe in the paddock. Unfortunately, we got him back just one run too late. So I'm going to go with Chelm's Fred. I think he's got a great chance. He's got trap free. I think that's a good trap round there. So all good.
And it's a kind of lead all the way kind of performance you'd expect from him, isn't it?
He's got to. Yeah, he's got to lead all the way. He won't come from behind.
Would he be your best chance of a win on the night, do you think?
Well, no, I think Call Me Steve is really. Yeah. I think it's between him and Call Me Steve.
Rab, two runners tomorrow in two finals. Havana Lover in the puppy final. What do you make of her chances?
She's got a great chance, Floyd. Matt Dartnell's dogged in a good leader Rafa last week. But there's one thing about this bitch, she's as game as they come. All she needs is a clear run. And I actually do believe, I think she's in a lot better box tomorrow and trap free. I think it'll suit her better because I think she's starting to move in and wants the rails a bit more. So I'm delighted to get that opportunity to be in trap free and have a look at her style of running tomorrow. But that's just typical. Your other big pal, Big Mullins, joining in the call. I'm looking forward to that bitch running tomorrow. Floyd, she's a bitch that come into me. She came in season, didn't get much to do with her puppy career. Then she had a big abscess and had to go and get a couple of teeth taken out and a big abscess cleared up and all the rest of it. And she's no had a lot. So I would like to see how good this bitch really is. If I could get maybe 8 or 10 runs strung together with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think we'll see some, and once she steps up, of course, I think everybody knows that, but the way she's going, I think she's going to be a real top-class bitch.
Yeah. I take it that she hasn't kind of shown any great deal of early. I take it she probably doesn't have any, does she?
When I started trailing her in at Central Park, she was doing 320 and 321, which was pretty good. I think she's done a 416 at a 417 at Towster one night at 4. So listen, if she done that in the morning, turned behind Matt's dog, then I think they would be looking behind us to see where we are. You know what I mean? She's going at it very hard and she's coming home here. But what I did notice last week was she's starting to get a bit clever. She's starting to use her brain a wee bit. But that's only with racing. You know what I mean, Floyd? That's what I mean. But that's the education that she's going to learn with the actual races. The more races this bitch gets, the better she'll come.
Is she a 29-20 bitch?
I think she's capable of breaking 29 if she got everything right.
Really?
I think it's in the locker. I think it would be there. I think she'd be a 29 dead bitch all day long. It's in the locker. It's whether she's keeping more for the end of the race as the beginning of the race, not the rest of it, because I do think she'll be a star in the future over Six Bends.
Definitely. And then you've got the opposite. Lots and lots of early pace in your other final. Havana Class got the red box. He's going to start short. Do you think he deserves to start short?
Probably does deserve to start short. He's an old campaigner now, Floyd. He's danced at all the jigs. He's been at all the dances and he's been at all the parties and he's got to the finals near enough every competition he's been entered in. His fourth year is coming away. Me personally, I'd have preferred to see him out in 2 or 3. I think he's a better trapper out there. But we've got Trap 1. He loves the rails. Listen, if he does it right, I would say he'll win it. And he'll win it this time. Last year, he's in form, the old dog. He's feeling great. All my dogs are in superb form. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen a massive difference in every one of my dogs coming for it the way. I don't know whether they were hanging in some or what, Floyd, but in the past 2 or 3 weeks, my dogs have come on a bundle. So I have no complaints. I've nothing to hide behind. My dogs are ready for this tomorrow.
Who's your dog on the card?
I must admit, I haven't gone right the way through the card per se, and that is my job now. I've been doing podcasts earlier on with Ian Fortune for the Derby. Obviously, I've analysed the Derby inside out, and I have done the first sort of quarter of the card. But I'm going to put up Havana Class. I really like him as a sprinter. He's got a great draw. He's the fastest dog in the race, so he'll win. I know he's short, but I couldn't. You asked the question. I couldn't really find too much more value. I do think he'll win. I didn't worry. You want to put up Space Jet, Floyd?
Yeah, I've already had Jimmy Fennick pulling up Space Jet, but he's definitely a belt and braces boy, War Jimmy. So, afternoon, Ryan. I'm not sure how in this great family of Keneally tipsters you stand. I mean, I was trying to work out what was the 3 footballing brothers that were all of kind of, one was Premier League, one was sort of Championship, and the other one was probably, I don't know.
I'm trying to think now. I don't know. Definitely not. I'm more. I'd say comparison would probably be the Neville brothers. Joe looks a bit like Gary Neville when he looks a few bit away. I was probably more I'm happy just to be in the background floor and be the quiet one.
I'm
happy to let my dad and Joe take all the limelight, all the glass.
The silent talent.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let my tipping do the talking, Floyd, rather than them two. You see, so.
That's fair enough. We've got your dad's toaster tips coming up very shortly, and of course he hasn't done too badly at all.
He reminds me every single day. There's not a day he hasn't reminded me about that yet. So yeah, I'm hoping he has a stinker on Saturday. To be honest, I
don't think you're going to get as many reminders as Peter Harnden's going to get though.
Oh, he's bankrupt, Tenny. So, yeah, but no, fairness to my dad though, he's done all right, but he's not beating much, is he? Let's be fair now. No disrespect to the other competitors.
Yeah, some way down the line, we're going to need to get a little bit of a league going here. So we'll get back to that. Leave that one with me. Obviously, I've spoken to some of the trainers who have runners, and I've said dogs you're not associated with. I don't think you're associated with any specifically. Who's your best bet on Saturday night?
Am I allowed to say any of the Weatherall dogs?
Of course. So
I fancy in the marathon before the final. I fancy Lemon Extra. I think if all you have to just watch her last run, against Bombardier at Monmore, and just watch where she was at the pickup. She tried around Toast, and Toast the first time look round can be, I mean, dogs can, it takes a lot of time for some dogs, but it's not the greatest of marathon races, and it won't take a lot to. It just takes one dog who can maybe plod around, and she's got bags. She'll have bags of sixpence speed. So for me, it's just a case of getting to the front and then holding on. But she'd probably be my bet of the card.
I certainly we featured her. In fact, I didn't. I was assuming she was a dog, to be honest. So I forgive my ignorance, but featured her when she on Monday with the video of her running against Bombardier. And considering Bombardier, I think had won something like 7 out of 8 at Monmore and stays at 6.84, and she absolutely ran him down. I think she was last bitch off the set.
She was,
home straight, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. And even if you look at her form at Swindon, where she wasn't really close to winning, but she's done all sorts of running from the fifth bend. And I'd probably put Swindon in a similar trying to track to Toaster, it's a bit more of a gallop than Monmore. Monmore was quite a tightish 4-bend trip. So yeah, we're hoping that after the good look at Toaster last week, we're hoping that she comes on and she can get to the front early enough to then hold on.
Your best bet on your card on Saturday night. Now we're dealing with the professional punter. We don't want to be put away here.
I'll be honest with you, this is purely off the top of my head because I haven't done any work on the card at all. But the dog that's impressed me throughout there is Call Me Steve. In that, I think he's nailed that. But obviously not very imaginative, and failing that, another not very imaginative one. Havana Class in the sprint, trap 1. No real reason to get beat. I don't know what kind of price it would be. But.
Maybe Tommy's Dove in the other marathon. I was impressed with her 4th last week behind Savannah, Volcano, and Burgess Hannah. I think the field on Saturday certainly isn't the same level as that. I think she could make up into a nice marathon dog. The other one would be Goldie's Perriman. I think massively overpriced in the plate, especially from trap 1. The market seems to have found him a bit as well. There's plenty of blue on Odds Checker,